Hello and welcome to Bean's Budget Brewery. I'm your host Bean, and let's get into it. Today's deck is Kitchen Madness, a deck that wants to control the board, poke in for damage with small creatures, and burn your opponent out. Well, okay, some of them are not very small. The deck has access to a suite of solid removal, the best of which is Violent Eruption, because it can deal with multiple creatures and burn your opponent out. But against creatures with 4 or more toughness, Terminal Agony is a great way to get rid of them. It's basically a Terminate. And speaking of cards that are basically other cards, Fiery Temper is basically Lightning Bolt. And Bolt is such a good card that the 2 biggest Magic the Gathering YouTubers made a dedicated video on that one card. And there are even more good removal cards that Kitchen Madness has access to. But, moving on. You need to actually have a way to discard cards, right? Well, Rakdos Headliner and Merchant of the Veil will let you do that once, and Cabal Initiate and Olivia's Dragoon let you do that multiple times. And Hellmongrel is a discard outlet and a Madness card all rolled into one. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Merchant gives enough value that I think it's worth it, and Rakdos Headliner is a really aggressive creature. But what's even better is Bone Shards and Lightning Axe. They're both removal. They're 1-mana removal that also can activate Madness. It's beautiful. Almost as beautiful as our good boy. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? I'm wasting time. But of course we also need to be able to win the game, and here is how we do it. We attack, and that's basically it. You just attack with creatures. But there is a particular creature that is really good, because while Lightning Bolt can deal 3 damage to your opponent, and if you have 3 Lightning Bolts in hand, that's 9 damage, which is almost half of your opponent's life, Kitchen Imp can deal 4 damage to your opponent, usually, and even more sometimes, and that's going to beat your opponent down really easily. It's a good card. It's the MVP of the deck. You don't want to build a Madness deck anymore if you don't have Kitchen Imp, because a 1-mana 2/2 with haste is just really good. And then you add flying, and it's like, what? Wow. This card's 30 cents right now. It's the kind of whole, thing for the deck, so if you get 4, that's like $1. But then if you get Asmore, you also want to add some Underworld cookbooks, because that's what she searches for. And I should have recorded this footage slower because I don't have time. And then an actual upgrade would be Cathartic Reunion, because the other 2 are pretty obvious. It's just, this is a good card. It draws 3 cards. For 2 mana, it draws 3 cards. It's really good. And then for people who want a more Rakdos theme, there's this guy. He's good.